Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. My name's Destiny and I do book things here, and today we're going to discuss my March wrap-up. So in March I read 16 books. 16? Might have been more than that. I want to say 16. I have filmed this video once before and I did not like the way it turned out, so we're doing it again. First, I'll go through, I guess I'm just going to go through in chronological order as best as I can, and we'll go through from there. The first one I finished in March was Unbirthday by Liz Braswell. It is the Alice in Wonderland retelling. I enjoyed this one. I gave it 3 stars. It just, to me, didn't do enough different to be called a retelling. This one's, what if Wonderland was in peril and Alice was very, very late? I don't know. She was late somewhat. I felt like it told a lot like Alice Through the Looking Glass to me. If you've ever seen that movie, this book was a lot like that. The next one I finished was A Writing Retreat by Julia. I don't remember her last name. I'm sorry. I'll put it up here so you can see it, but I gave it 3 stars. I did not like it at all. A lot of people have been putting it on their TBRs that I've watched so far into the month of April, and I'm hoping they enjoyed it more than I did. I didn't care for it. I thought we were looking at a closed door mystery, and that's not what it is at all. So please do not go into this book thinking that it's a closed door mystery. It's not that at all. The twist it took was good, don't get me wrong, but I kind of saw it coming from the beginning. Just the way that it's set up, I saw it coming from the beginning. Next, I'm going to talk about 2 that I didn't finish them in this order, but I want to talk to them together because I finished a series. I finished the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series. I finished The Girl Who Played with Fire and Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. I'm sorry if you hear Ollie. She's going night-night. Baby, it's time for night-night. No, it's time for night-night. I finished those 2. I gave Girl Who Played with Fire 5 stars and The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest 5 stars as well. They were both wonderful. I think that the third one is very accurately named. If you have read Girl with the Dragon Tattoo and you loved it before the murder mystery, you might not like the next 2. The next 2 definitely revolves around Salander and as a character and as her life and her history. These 2 books revolve heavily around it. The second one has to do with sex trafficking and the sex trade in Sweden, and then the third one is more political leaning, so just know that going in. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, I highly recommend if you like Agatha Christie or anything like that. It's really, really good. The first 100 pages, unless you're just interested in economics, are really slow, but the rest of the book definitely makes up for that first 100 pages. Next, I finished The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Yeah, Barnes. It's the last one in the Inheritance Trial. This one I actually only gave 4 stars, and honestly got 4 stars because I was so sick of hearing who the Hawthorne boys were. By the end of this, I was like, are we not on the 3rd book, or are we on the 1st one? Like, that is my main criticism, is that Avery talks about them in, like, their qualities that makes them different from one another so many times that it's almost like she's trying to let you get to know them again, even though you read the first 2. It just was not for me. It left a bad taste in my mouth. I do love how she ended it. I love how it all wrapped up. I think that was beautiful. That was a really good move to make. She could have done it a couple ways, and she could have drugged the series out. She really could have. But it was a 4 star because I got sick of hearing about that. The next one I finished was The Twisted Ones by T.K. Fisher. This is one of 2 I've finished by this author this month. I gave it 4 stars. I think that for me, I've read the Hollow Places and the Twisted Ones. Their main protagonists, their voices were very, very similar. In the Twisted Ones, we're following a girl who is a freelance editor, like book editor, and her grandma has passed away, and her father, who is older, he's in his 80s, he asked her, hey, will you go clean out grandma's house, please? I can't. Physically, I cannot. Can you go do it? And when she gets there, she realizes her grandmother was a hoarder. And this is going to take her a lot longer than she thought to clean out. Her dad knew it, but he didn't say anything. And so she calls. He's like, I'm so sorry. I should have warned you. I just didn't know how to say it, and it was embarrassing. So she really gets kind of trapped into doing this for him. And along the way, shit starts happening. There's something tapping on the windows. She just gets this eerie feeling. She meets this group of hippies that live close to her. It's really good, but to me, the main character's voice was a lot similar to the one in the Hollow Places. Next, I finished Recommended for You by Laura Silverman. This was just a really quick romance. I picked it up on my way to go get to Dallas. As you know, I take many trips to Dallas. I was actually driving to go get my better half from work. And so I picked this up just because I was in rush hour traffic. And so I just wanted something that I could listen to and kind of like zone out. And it was good, but I think that this book wasn't for me. It wasn't a me book. If your child is anywhere from, I would say, preteen to late teens, this probably be a really good one for them. They probably could relate a lot to the main character. I did like the representation in it because she is Jewish and has 2 moms. I can't speak to Jewish rep because I am not Jewish. I'm not a part of that community. But as far as the LGBTQ rep, it was really good to me. Her mothers are going through something, and like it just showed that just because you're in a same-sex marriage or a same-sex relationship, it's not always roses, and it's not all sunshine and roses like we think. Sometimes it gets portrayed in the media to be. But I am giving it 3 stars because I found her to be really, really naive and young, but immature. But that could be just because I am older and looking at it from a lens of an almost 30-year-old, and she's only 17. And it almost makes you wonder I don't think YA romance is for me. I think that's where I'm at. Next, I finished All of Us Villains by Amanda Foody and Christine Lynn Herman. Yeah. This one I gave 4 stars, excuse me. It was interesting, but I feel like nothing happened in the story. So what we're following a number of families. I think it's 7 families who have this prime magic, and it's the last known existence of it in the world. Like, the world's aware that magic exists, and there's commonplace magic that everyone can do, but this is like royal top tier magic, and these families compete every year. 7 of the children go in and they battle to the death, and only one of them walks out, and whoever walks out, their family has control of the power for the next, I don't remember, 100 years or something, 30 years, and then it happens again. It always happens on the blood moon, and we're following this year's set of sacrifices, basically. And I just honestly feel like nothing happened. There is a second one. I am planning on picking up the second one whenever I get over to the library. I'm probably going to check it out and physically read it. But for me, I just feel like nothing happened. That's just what it left me with. I was super interested, super into it, and then it just kind of ended. I feel like if she had put on another 200 pages, we could have got it all in one book instead of having to have a second one. That's just my own opinion. The next thing I have finished is I finished the entire Truly Devious series. So I finished Truly Devious, The Vanishing Stair, right? The Hand on the Wall. Am I right? Hold on. I'm checking my book journals in my lap. Hand on the Wall, The Box in the Woods, and The Nine Liars. So I finished all 5 of those. I absolutely love this series. I can't wait to have it on my shelves. I can't wait to reread. So the first 3, Truly Devious, The Vanishing Stair, and Hand on the Wall, all follow Stevie, and Stevie is going to this elite school out in the mountains. And in 1936, the founder of the school's wife and daughter get kidnapped, and they find the wife dead. They also find a student who had gone missing at the same time. They found her dead. No one knows who did it. No one knows where his daughter is. And Stevie applies to the school, and that's her ticket to getting in, is that she tells them that she wants to solve the murder. This school is elite because they don't tell you what criteria you need to get in. They just tell you to come as you are, present yourself as you will, and then we'll choose from there. And so in the first 3 books, Stevie is trying to solve this mystery. As current day people are dying, she's also trying to figure out why they're dying, what's happening there. Box in the Woods was my favorite. I gave them all 5 stars. Box in the Woods definitely is my favorite. It took place at a camp. The murders took place in 1976. Do I have that right? Yes, I had to check the last time I filmed this video. The murders took place in 1976, where 4 camp counselors are brutally murdered. One is found on the campground, so he had ran from his murderer and made it to campgrounds where he died. And the other 3 are found in a hunting blind or a box in the woods. And Stevie gets an email from the new owner of the camp wanting her to come solve the murders. And she ends up going out to try to solve these murders. This one was interesting because the kind of the path she took, in the sole reasoning these children were murdered was interesting to me. It's not something I've read before. It's not something I have had much experience with, but I did find it very, very interesting, and that twist was really, really good. The last one, Nine Liars, it was not my favorite, if I'm being honest. I found it interesting enough, but I feel like we didn't get as much of the mystery aspect as we did with the first 4. This one, we didn't get layouts very well, in my opinion, and Stevie has to go about solving this one kind of shittily, in my opinion. All of this is my opinion, but so this one takes place in London in 1996. There were 9 students who had just finished their final year at college, and they are all really good friends, and they all know they're about to have to separate and go their own way. Excuse me. So they go to one of their family's manor houses, and when they go to the manor house, 2 of them are found dead the next morning. They play hide and seek. It's not really hide and seek, more seekers versus hiders, because when you find somebody, they take them down, they get a different colored jumper on, and they have to now find everybody. But in the midst of this game, 2 of them are found dead, and no one knows who did it. They assume somebody broke in and murdered them, but nothing's ever set right. And Stevie ends up going to London to see her boyfriend, and that's kind of where it ends up. This one does end in a cliffhanger where I think we're going to get another one, and I'm so excited for it. If she keeps writing these, I will keep reading them. I have been on such a murder mystery binge that I really want to pick this one up too. The next one I finished was just a really quick novella. It was only 86 pages. I think listening to it, it was 2 hours, give or take. Maybe longer than that. Might have been 4 hours. Yeah, because I listened to it on the way to Dallas and then the way back is when I finished it. Excuse my yawning, guys. I am at day 2 of no coffee, and it's kicking my butt. But that book is Witches of New Orleans, and I don't have an author here. You go by my head. Like I said, it's only like 84 pages. I gave it 5 stars. I loved it. I wish it had been longer. I wish we had got more time with these characters. Because you're following the official coven of New Orleans. There's 5 witches, and each one of them you're getting a little snippet of their love story. It's only like 20 pages per witch, and I wish we had got longer, because I think it would have been very, very interesting. Honestly, I would have read the whole series. If she wants to write a whole series where each witch gets their own book, I would happily read it and buy them, because it was that good. I highly, highly recommend. I listened to it on Scribd. I think it might be a Scribd exclusive. I'm not 100% sure. But if you've not picked this up and you like romance, I highly recommend picking this one up. It is fade to black, though, so there's no actual sex on the page, so know that going in. Spice, I would give it 1 to 2. It's not very spicy, but it's very good. Next is my last Tea Tank Fisher, which was What Moves the Dead. This one I gave 4 stars, 4.75 stars. This one had a different voice. It had some of the same voice, but it did have a bit of a different voice, because this main character is, my brain's not working. They are gender fluid, and are gender non-binary. I think is how they classified it in the synopsis, as non-binary. And it takes place back in time. It does not take place current day. The other 2 took place current day. This one to me was really interesting. The horror in this one is fungal. It's a body fungal horror, and it's so good. It's so good. It's so creepy. It makes me not want to trust the water I drink. Like, I have been so nitpicky about what I'm putting in my body because of this book. It was really, really good. And then I think, yes, my last one was my lowest rated of the month, and that is Reprieve by James Hahn Madison. I gave it 2 stars. If you want the rant, please just check out my blog. I don't want to go into it. Like I said, I'm on day 2 of no coffee and no sugar, and so I'm feeling pretty blah. I still have one more video to film. So if you want to hear my rant on that, please go check out my blog. The blog went up yesterday. When you're watching this video, it went up yesterday. There's a link down in the description. But but this one was the first time I've ever fell asleep reading an audiobook. It was just, I don't understand the point. I went into it again looking for a locked door mystery. Thought I was getting one. Truly, truly thought I was getting a locked door mystery. And it wasn't. It wasn't. The locked door part of it took up maybe 5.3 seconds of the book, and that was it. I don't recommend this one. I don't recommend you pick it up. But yeah, that is everything I read in March. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm pretty sleepy. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna film my April TBR for you guys so I can go up, and then I'm going to bed. And I will see you on my next one. Bye, guys.